Tonight we're going to speak about the immigration. Hello everybody. Welcome everybody. I'd like to speak about miracles because things are happening in our lifetime which nobody would have dreamed could ever exist. And I have to drink because I just ate and the food got stuck.
Oh, please do. Take your time, drink.
You know, Dory was able to show us that language can be translated from one to the other. But today Joni was able to write something in English and the computer translated it into German, and then she reversed the procedure and was able to put German into English, and without a problem. And then to top it all tonight, a message from John Siracusa that people were filming my Lower East Side, and he's going to let them know about my having worked there.
Just to say a little something about that, if I could. John is the artist who created the documentary about Hetty, that amazing documentary that just completely captures her soul, and it's going to be up on the website shortly. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, John wrote to us, and he was talking about this movie that was just filmed, or maybe it's still being filmed.
Can you tell what John did?
Yes, but John just told me that that I need to take it down because it was not. I didn't do it correctly. So we will talk about this next week. But John has created something really lovely where each week there's going to be a painting and the story behind it put up on Facebook, and he's been creating that. So it's really wonderful, and well, I guess we will start next week with that. And Tammy is asking, are any of your paintings in the Tenement Museum in New York? I recently heard a reference to the museum and to Orchard Street. And yes, one of her prints is hanging in the Tenement Museum. It's in the executive section, the administrative section, but one of her prints is hanging there. There was a whole big kind of event when we had a place there many years ago. Denise Taylor is watching, and Eileen is giving hearts because I believe that Eileen and Paula were there for that event. So Eileen, Denise Taylor is watching. Hetty says, Eileen says, hi loves.
Hi.
Eileen and Paula here, love you. And happy birthday, dearest Dory. Yes.
Dory had her birthday and we celebrated by going to the diner.
Right, yesterday.
Yes.
Yesterday was Dory's birthday. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Dory. And Carol is asking if John is safe from the fires. And I think he is. But he can comment on that. But yeah, I believe he is where he is now, not in LA. Eileen says, hi loves from Eileen and Paula, great to be with you, and happy birthday, dearest Dory. And Martha points out that something went down the wrong pipe. Amy feels that you are probably the best nose blower ever. But she
Thank you.
She does feel she's biased on that account.
My nose is happy now.
Paula is watching, and Amy says, happy belated birthday, Dory. So, to let you continue now, Hetty, you're on.
when I did the Lower East Side, it was because I am an immigrant, and the Lower East Side is made of immigrants who fled to America to escape chaotic conditions at home. And they created this awesome country of ours. And now there are people waiting at the borders, not being let in, coming from all over the world, with every language. And I have to do my bit for telling you, make the best of them. They will be the laborers that we need. Because people who are desperate are the best workers. Kenny will now tell you about some of the Lower East Side stories. That's a Lower East Side story.
Oh, yes. John asked that we not do it yet because the way I put it up was incorrect.
Oh.
Yeah, so he asked that we do it next week instead.
Okay.
To me, it kind of looks okay up there. So if you look at it, like, it's not that there's anything wrong with it, folks.
Then I'll talk about tonight.
Will take it down, and we will begin with that tomorrow. Yeah.
Should I then talk about tonight?
I think that's a great idea.
Explain what I'm shifting to.
Oh, sure. Well, we had a meeting today that was quite amazing with Joni and me and gerontological counselor Nina, who we love, who has been helping us as a family and supporting us. And what we were talking about was Hetty's just kind of what's best for her in terms of getting care and getting help, and her hating that she's in a position of getting care and getting help, and talking about like what it means to be on this planet, and afterlife, and so many amazing things which she will tell you, but also about her hunger for meaning, and then also because she's now going to be living at Joni's house and here, what that's going to be like, and kind of everybody's needs and everyone's expectations. We had an amazing talk, but Hetty went deepest of all. So Hetty, please share anything you want.
Give me a thing.
No, I'm looking at you. Everyone sees you.
So if I speak, they'll hear me?
They hear you and see you.
Okay. A while ago, Kenny said to me, Mom, you need a doctor who works with old people because young doctors don't understand. And he brought me this awesome doctor, Dr. Taubman, whom you've heard of before because I mention him quite often. And Dr. Taubman looked at me and said, okay, I'll take you, but only if you're aware of the fact that you're old. You're very old. And you can do that, approach that in two ways. Either be grateful or realize the blessings of it. And also, how do you deal with it? And I would like to tell you how we dealt with it tonight. I've been having a great deal of problems physically, and the physical parts are overwhelming. And so very often I think, why can't I stop? Why can't I stop living? Because my bones ache. My bladder and my rectum have lost control. And is it worth it? And most times I think, no, it's not. But yet something urges me to continue. And Kenny found a lovely woman who gives people advice on everything. And she came over and sat with us, and she said, the only way we can do this is for everybody to be completely honest. Let's begin. And I said, I feel useless. There was a time I had great value. There was so much I did to make my family happy. And when I painted, I made the world happy with the subject matter. And I said, all of that is gone. I can no longer get into the car and drive to the Lower East Side or anywhere where I wanted to paint. And I said, and there's so many physical aches and pains. I don't need it. I've had a wonderful life. I'd like to let go. And this wonderful, wonderful woman who was running this for us said, let's be more specific. Joni, how do you feel about what Hetty just said? And Joni said, I've gone through some very tough physical problems lately, and they're solved. And I'm so glad I didn't give up. But there were so many. But when I see your face smiling, it's worth it. And then Kenny said something similar, and it was again about his need for me and seeing my face. And I thought to myself, but that's all I can give. And it's not enough. And they talked, and we spoke honestly. And I found out that I felt useless. And they told me how much I mean to them. That my face, smiling, my presence here. And I thought to myself, I do give what they say I give, without even knowing my presence does. And we talked and talked very honestly. Each one of us said what we needed. And I found out they don't need Hetty. They need me. I'm the only one who has been that part of their lives. And maybe I am that important that I give joy and support. And I was thinking, maybe each of us is a building block, and we build the universe for the other. And I decided the aches and pains don't compare to the joy in them. And maybe that's what life is, that there's discomfort, but there's the will to go on. And when the evening was over, we all hugged and felt good again, but only because we were so honest. Honesty is very difficult because it's personal. And when I described how physically miserable I am. And they described how they love me. It's worth it. It was a wonderful night. And I am left with a different sense. You know, I've been meditating. And in my meditation, I speak to the universe and ask about it, what it means. And what they said was, each of us is a building block. And what we do with one person is a block of the universe. And I have given kindness to so many people, and that maybe they've built a huge shape in the universe. And maybe that's why the world is allowed to go on. With all of us adding a little block. If any of you have thoughts,
Oh, there are a number of
let them know.
Yes. Thank you for that share. That was
Kenny will
beautiful.
read,
I will read.
but he'll read louder.
I will read louder. Dory, birthday girl. One Day Post birthday girl is here. Hi, Dory. Kinha is here. And she says, Hetty, you inspire me every single day. Our Tammy is here. She says, values change and mature. Your wisdom took a lifetime to achieve, and we all benefit. I'm so sorry that your body hurts, but your mind is still powerful. Thank you for sharing what you can. And Sandy says, love you, Aunt Hetty. Love you, Cousin Kenny. Love from Sandy and Ishmael. Love back to you, Sandy. Amy says, Hetty, I know I speak for all of us here. We tune into Facebook every Monday, week after week, to listen to you, our valuable friend. I bet none of us tune into a single other Facebook date. You are that important. Why else do we put all this standing date on our calendars? You are loved. You are marvelous. You are wise. You educate us. You are valued. Eddie says, what an incredible family you all are, with lots of hearts. And Julie says, Hetty, you are always of value. No, invaluable to all of us who love you. Thank you for your honesty and vulnerability. It is so touching and inspiring. I'm sorry for your suffering. You hide it too well with your spirit and your smile. Eileen says, facing the challenge, this is so amazing, facing the challenges of aging, so hard. We thank you for persevering so that we can all enjoy your love and wisdom. May the pain diminish as the love you feel grows stronger and stronger every day. Sandy says, happy birthday, Dory. Dory's blowing a big kiss. And Lee Winters says, we all need you, Hetty. Your shining smile brightens our days. And Carol says, Hetty, you help me more ways than you can imagine. Your knowledge and support is an inspiration to me daily. You just got me through this past week. I'm so sorry you're in physical pain. We're here for you as you are for us. Love you so much. This is amazing. Martha says you are a powerful example of love. Thank you.
I would like to say something else. May I add something? What I learned tonight was we hide our feelings. It feels so good that I was allowed to say what I felt. Let me allow you the same thing. If you can't say it in person, write it down. Thank you.
I want to say too that you are talking about being in this world, and you've also talked about the people who you know are still there, who have passed, who you miss and miss you, and that you have a sense, a belief that there's more after this life. So to me, you're speaking about both worlds, and both worlds, is very vulnerable to do. But it's amazing to get to sit here and listen to a human being at 95 looking at both worlds.
Can I talk about my belief of afterlife?
Sure.
Okay, I believe that God didn't make this miracle happen and suddenly end it. I think we go on. I know that very often when I need advice, my mother appears in my mind. My father appears in my mind. And when it's just day by day living, Eric appears. And so they must still exist. And maybe they are waiting for us. And maybe we will be united. Maybe nobody ever ends. It's a theory that feels right. That we just go on into eternity in different shapes. But definitely in the mind. Definitely in the mind.
In consciousness.
In consciousness.
Right.
Good night. I love you all so much. You're all mine. Thank you. Good night.